Welcome back everyone, I'm Nick. In this video we're going to talk about extracting functions and views from the body within our view. Now this is not a requirement and most beginner courses probably don't even touch on this, but I think this is something that's very important. I use this all the time in production apps and I think it's a really good habit to get into. And basically it's just going to help us clean up the code that's within the body of the view. So far in this course, all of our screens have been relatively short, and we've just kept that code within like that body section of the view. But as you can imagine, if you start making complex views, that body section is going to get really, really long. And no one likes reading that really long body. It's hard to read sometimes, especially if you have to scroll through it. And it's also really hard to debug when you have all these moving parts. So what we're going to do in this video is basically take sections of the view and put them into their own variables and then reference that variable in the body. And we're also going to take logic from within functions and make them their own separate functions. So far in this course, again, this has been pretty irrelevant because we made mostly simple views. But as we move forward and get more advanced, we're going to make some complex views, and we want to make sure that that body section is always nice and clean and organized. This way, if we share our code with a friend, with another developer, or our manager is looking at it, they can easily understand what's going on in the body. Because you never want to run into a situation where the body is so long that you don't even know what's going on half the time. So my recommendation is to always keep your code, especially the body, nice and clean and neat, and we're going to learn how to do that now. Welcome back everyone. Let's get started with today's video by creating a new file as we always do. Right click the navigator, new file, SwiftUI view, and let's call this one extracted functions, Bootcamp. Go ahead and click create, and it's okay if you wanted to name it something else. Once you're in the file, go ahead and click resume on the canvas and let's get coding. So this video is all about keeping our view code nice and neat. So to start off, I'm going to create a view very similar to what we did in the last video. Let's add a Z stack. Let's create a background layer here. We'll do color.yellow, and we'll call edges ignoring safe area all on the yellow. And then we're going to do a content. And in this content, let's do a VStack. Let's add some text for a title. Let's make that font.large title. And let's add a button below that. Let's use the action and label. So we'll leave the action blank for a second, and in the text, we'll change the button to say, press me. And let's format this a little bit. We'll call that font.headline, .foreground color white. Let's give it some padding and a background color of color.black. And then we'll do a corner radius of 10. So we have our black button there that says press me. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And now when we press this button, let's have the background change colors. And we've done this already. So this color.yellow, let's make this a variable. So we'll start by saying let background color type color equals color.pink. And then we'll take that background color and we'll put that variable in here. And as we learned in the last video, if we want this background color to be able to change, we need to make this a variable. And we need to tell the view to watch it by calling at state. So now we can change the background color, and let's do that in our button. We'll call background color equals .yellow. So we'll start it as pink, and when we press the button, it's yellow. Let's resume the canvas just to make sure everything is connected. We're starting as pink, and when I press the button, it's yellow. So nothing new so far, but this is where we're going to get into extracting functions. So I'm going to zoom out on the view here a little bit. And this right now is a very simple view, right? We have a VStack, we have our background layer, we have our content layer, but our content's very, very short. We just have a title, a button. But you could imagine that if this was a complicated view, there might be so much content and logic in this section, or even in this section, or just in the Z stack in general, that it might get hard to read the entire view. So right now, if we're looking at this view, we can tell everything that's going on. But in really complex apps, this view is going to be so long if we keep coding this way. So what we can do is extract functions and variables. So just like we did here where we took the background color and we made it a variable, we can do that with functions and with pieces of our view. So what does that mean? So right now our function, when we click on this button, changes the background color to yellow. And this obviously is just one short line of code. But you could imagine a situation in your app when you're clicking a button and then you're making this big call to the database and you're doing all this other stuff. You need a loading screen, you need to update your data, and basically whatever happens when you click that button is going to include a lot of logic. Well, you could just start adding all of your logic into this button, but it's going to get very long. So what we'd like to do, instead of keeping the logic in the view here, I'm going to go outside of the view. So I'm going to double click this open brackets to find the end of the view. And outside, let's create a function. We'll do func button pressed. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it button pressed. Open and close the parentheses and open the brackets. And now this is a function that will execute the code that's in this function whenever we call button pressed. So the code is going to be this background color.yellow. I'll cut this and I'll paste it into our function. And when we click the button, instead of having all of our logic directly here, all of our logic is in this function, and now we just need to call the function. We'll call button pressed. So this way, if we need to add a lot more logic into our function, so we'll change the background color, maybe we change some text, maybe we do some other things, we can add all of that logic just in this function, and it's not going to clog up and make our view nice and confusing. So this is a much better practice, especially if you have a ton of logic in your button. And a quick tip, if you ever right click on a function and you jump to the definition, it's going to scroll you and bring you exactly to where you have that defined, so where you made that function in your code. So right now we have this function button pressed, and we could update this if we want. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but basically if this was all of the logic that we needed, I would probably keep it directly in here. But if we had an app where we had a whole lot of things that needed to happen when we click the button, extract all that logic into a function so that we can very nicely separate the logic behind the button and the actual view of the button itself. So this is just the view of the button, and this is the actual logic behind it. So that's the first part of this video, and it doesn't seem like it saved us that much code here, but you'll see when we have larger functions. And the second part I want to show you is that we can also extract parts of the view itself. So right now, this still is not that long, but you could imagine if it got longer and we wanted to maybe separate our layers, right? So we have this background layer and then we have this foreground or this content layer. Well, I could actually make this whole layer its own variable. I'm going to scroll down underneath the body, hit enter, and I'm going to add another variable. And this variable I'm going to set up just like the body is here. So it's a var body of type subview. So I'm going to do var content layer of type subview and open the brackets. And now I'm just going to take all of this view logic here, this VStack, the title, the button, and I'm just going to cut it and paste it into the content layer. So this content layer works the same as the body, except by default the body is what actually loads in the view. This is like the starting view within here. And then this is an extra variable we have. So now we can take the content layer variable and just put it right here. So now if I click resume on the canvas, you'll see that it still builds, it's still all connected, except now we have very neat layers to our app. So if our boss or another developer came in to look or edit this, this would be very easy for them to figure out what's going on. We have a background layer, we have a content layer. And if they want to edit something on the content layer, they know all of that logic is within this section. And then when they're looking at the content layer, they know that all of the logic for when we click this button is within the button pressed function, which is down here. So this might not seem like it's saving us that much right now. That's because we're in a very, very simple screen. But when you're making your views, you're going to realize how complex they might get. And one of the best things that we can do is keep our code nice and neat and clean by separating out all of the sections or possibly the layers in our view. So in the next video, we're going to actually take this one step further and we're going to put whole views inside of views. But for right now, this is a great start for you guys, really understanding how to separate the layers and the logic within our view to keep everything nice and neat. So that's it for this video. Once again, I'm Nick, this is Swiftful Thinking, and I will see you guys in the next video.